This is going to be a tutorial how to make a banner in Procreate with no template. So I'll click into Procreate up at the top right hand corner, click on the plus sign. Up in the top right hand corner of the drop down, hit the plus sign next to new canvas. We're going to adjust the width and the height for a desktop version. So for the width we want 2560 and for the height we want 423. Up in the top right hand corner, click that blue check to end the task. DPI and maximum layers, you don't have to worry about those. This is digital content. Maximum layers is for the actual app itself here. You don't have to worry about those. So we'll end the task. This is a desktop version canvas that we made. We're not going to work in it just yet. We're gonna title it. So up at the top left hand corner, hit gallery. Under a new canvas we just made, click on untitled artwork. We're going to title this desktop. So we have a desktop version. Canvas made 2560 by 423 pixels. So up in the top right hand corner, plus sign again, we're going to create another canvas. Next to new canvas, top right hand corner, hit the plus sign so we can manually adjust the width and height for a mobile version canvas this time. So the width is going to be 1546. We're going to leave the height the way it is. We'll hit that blue check mark to end the task. And we have a mobile version. So with the mobile version, what I like to do is I like to color it in, fill it in, because later I'm going to place a photo on top of that. So this is considered the safe view. Mobile devices are your smallest viewport, with desktop and then TV being, the next. Anyways, we want to color this in so that we know exactly where our safe box is. So up here in the right hand corner, there's a circle for a color wheel, and in that color wheel you can change the color. So the outer wheel will change the hue, and the inside will change the base color. I'm going to keep it there. Then I'm going to go over to the left of that color wheel, and I'm going to hit on the brush icon, and I'm going to pick my brush. I'm going to keep it the way it is. Digital pony pull. Good coverage. You can pick anything. You don't need anything specific. We're going to color this in. Once it's colored in, I'm going to go up to the left and hit gallery again to title it. Underneath the canvas, click on untitled artwork, and we're going to title this mobile. Okay, we're going to click right back into that canvas, the mobile canvas, and then here we're going to go up to next to gallery to the wrench, and under actions we're going to share it, and we're going to share it as a PNG. I'm going to share it to my saved images on my iPad so that I can access it easy. It just goes right to my photos. From there, I'm going to go back out to gallery. Up next to creating a new canvas, I'm going to go over to the left and hit select. And I'm going to select that mobile canvas, and I'm going to delete it. Delete is right next to the check mark, or the end task function. We'll go ahead and end the task, and then we're going to create a new canvas. So hit that plus again, and this is going to be for the TV version. In the TV version, the width needs to be 2560, and the height needs to be 1440. Once we have that dialed in, we'll hit the blue check mark again, and this will end the task. And there's our TV version of canvas. We're not going to work in it yet. We're going to go back out to gallery. So now we have, we got to title it. So we'll go ahead and title it TV. So now we have a TV canvas at 2560 by 1440 pixels. And we have a desktop version, 2560 at 423 pixels. And then we have the mobile version at 1546 by 423 pixels saved in our photos. So we're going to go into desktop and work here for a second. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that mobile version right onto this first layer where my desktop version is. So up at the top right, I'm going to explain layers for a second. Up at the top right hand corner, you'll see the color wheel, and next to that is the layers tab. We'll click on that, and this will display our layers that we have currently going. So the background color is essentially the color of what this layer is going to be. So if I click background color, it disappears. So I'll click back into it. If I click off of that, it stays there. That's because we don't have any coloring or anything into it yet. So what we'll do is I want to place the next image right on this first layer. So I'll go over to wrench next to gallery, and under actions I'll choose add, and then under add I'll insert a photo, because remember that's where we saved our mobile version canvas. And I'll go ahead and choose that, and it's going to import it and drop it right there into the center of the desktop on that first layer. So now what I'm going to want to do is go up to the layers tab again up at the top, and I want to pull up a new layer. This is going to be a layer that's not going to be affected by anything I do on layer 1. So I'll come back to the little wrench next to gallery, and I want to add another photo. So under add, I'm going to insert a photo, and this time it's going to be of my kitty Bella. So here's Bella. Now down at the bottom, you have taskbar. You can snap, flip horizontal, and we'll kind of go through this. That's what horizontal does. This is what vertical does. This is what rotating it does. You can also use your fingers like a pinch motion and squeeze out and pull your picture any direction you want. It's pretty easy. So what I'll do here on the right, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to leave her there the way she is. But to the right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that circle out till it snaps right there to that edge of that mobile version. Same with the left. Snap. So in this mobile version, this is the safe window. So anything you want to be seen has to be done in the confines of this space. So any of your writing, your logos, the art you want to be seen on a mobile version, all versions, mobile viewport, desktop viewport, and TV viewport, is done this way. So it has to be done in this canvas. So now that we got Bella there, we're going to go back up to the canvas or the layers tab, and we're going to create another layer. Now on this layer, I'm going to add, this is our third layer, and you can name these layers too as you go, if you're dealing with a lot of layers, but we're just going to keep it simple. This is stuff you can all find out as you're messing around with Procreate. So now that we got our third layer, we're going to add some text. So over here next to gallery, I'm going to hit that wrench icon. Under actions, I'm going to add, and then under add, I'm going to add text. Now that we have a text box there, I'm going to use my finger and drag that whole box down on top of the image so I can see the text. And then I'm going to change the font of this text size to probably 20, because that's pretty big font. So down at the bottom, there's a taskbar, and in that taskbar, there's edit style right in the middle. Click on that. Third column over under design, you'll see size with a slide bar. Go ahead and click on 36.4 bubble. That way you can manually input the font size you want. I'm going to do 20. Want to make sure you hit that blue check mark so that you can end task, and it'll actually change the size of the font. So now that we have text the size we want, well, I might not like the font. So I want to change the font. So I'll go ahead and highlight the text box again, and I'm going to edit style again. And right in the first section is the font. I like, let's see, do they got it? I like this one. Chalk Duster is a pretty good one. And again, make sure you hit that blue check mark to end the task. And there's our text. And then we'll take this text box and we'll drag it down somewhere around here, around the center. And we'll make sure both of these sides are right there onto the onto the image you're close to. And then for the text, I'm going to put adventures with Bella. So go here, kind of like a continuation thing. And then we're going to go to freehand. So up the top, actually, let's create another layer. So we'll go to Layers tab, and we're going to create another layer. So I hit the plus icon to add another layer. All right, so this will be layer 5. So on here, we want to do freehand. So up at the right, we'll go over to the brush icon. And I am going to change my brush, and I'll change it to lettering. And I'll use Nightingale. Sounds great. So the name of my channel is called Freedom. So I'm going to make sure all my writing is right in here inside the window. Viewport size, the mobile viewport. And write Freedom. It could be something like that. That's fine. We can do that. And at any time you don't like something, over here to the left, you have 2 slide bars there. Down at the bottom of that, there's a U-turn arrow. Go ahead and hit that, and it'll back off the last thing you did. So go ahead, back it all the way out there and make that dot again. So to me that looks fine. I'm okay with that. But what I'd like to do is maybe the back image, maybe the image of Bella. I want to change that. So I'll go up there to my Layers tab to bring up my layers, and I'll pick the layer where Bella's at. And I'm going to go over next to Gallery, past the wrench. I'm going to do the little wand icon, and then I'll go down under Adjustments to Gaussian Blur. Sorry if I butchered that. But I'll pick Gaussian Blur, and then I'll go from the left to the right with either my finger or with my pencil, and watch the image of Bella and see what happens. See how she goes blurry? It's kind of the effect I want. If you went full board, you can look at the top and see the scroll bar. Kind of see what happens there. So you can kind of get artful that way too. So you can do a lot of cool things that way. So I want her to be a little blurry so Freedom stands out. You know, all that stuff, it stands out a little better. So that looks good to me. And then what I'll do is, I want to make another layer. So I'll come up here to the Layers tab again. And since I'm in layer 2, I want this next layer that I make to go above layer 5. So I'll go up and I'll pick layer 5, and then I'll hit the plus sign again to create another layer. This will be layer 6. So on layer 6, I'm going to change the color because I want to make some paws for my banner here. That's a good color. I like that color. And I'll keep the brush. I like the effect of this brush because it leaves a shadow effect. So now that I got that dialed in, I'm going to draw a couple paws. So this one will be on top of Freedom. And there's a paw. And I can yeah, that's fine. Now if I want if I want to put 2 paws on here, maybe I want the second paw to be behind my logo Freedom. I'll go back up here to Layers tab again and address this. So what I'll do is I'll create another layer. This time, I'll hard press that layer with my finger, and I will move it down below layer 5, which is my logo for Read'em. So by doing that, whatever I draw in here is going to be behind my logo. So I'll come in here and make another paw thing, but this time it's going to be behind. Like that. Yeah, that looks fine. So now I got a couple paws. All right. So now what I want to do is blend the background in with the image. So I'll come up here to my layers tab and I'll create a new layer, layer 8, and I will drag this layer all the way down below, all the way just above Bella. Okay. And then on layer 8, I'm going to go to the brush. Digital is fine. So I'll use digital. We got black for the color, so I'll hit the color wheel and I will pull the base color in a little bit so that we get more of a darker orange. And I'll start coloring this in. Okay, that looks fine. I'll do the same on this side. Then I'll go back up to the color wheel and I'll change. I'll go a little bit lighter, maybe into the orange, and then I'll pull this saturation a little bit, a little brighter, I guess. And then I'll come in here and put that right on top. All right, now I'll go back up to the color wheel and I'll pull that middle bubble down to the black. Then I'll come into it with black here. All right. Okay. And then from there, what I'll do is I'll come up next to gallery in the top left-hand corner, and I'll go over to the wand. Under adjustments, I'll come down to Gaussian blur. And then I'll slide from the left to the right again until I get my desired image I want. And to me, I mean, that looks okay. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and slide that. So up at the top, go ahead and hit gallery. And pull up the TV canvas. And we're going to do a similar thing. We're going to paint this TV canvas. You can do anything you want here. This is only going to be seen on a TV. But, yeah, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use that digital thing again. I like that. And just kind of have fun with it. Pull that middle circle up. Kind of get a, whoa, that might be a little too much there. Crazy. And then you can go like that, you know, because you know your banner is going to go right across that, right? And then from here, what I want to do is I want to change the color again. So I'm going to pull that middle one down to black. And I'm gonna get these corners real good here, because we're gonna use that Gaussian blur again. And that really kind of makes it look cool. So, I mean, I think it does. So, okay. So to me, that's probably good, just from experiencing kind of what it's doing. And from here, up next to gallery, pass the wrench again, the little wand, under adjustments, go down to Gaussian blur, and then slide. And to me, that looks pretty decent for now. Let's go ahead and hit gallery, and then we'll go back and we'll pull up our desktop version. And then from here, next to gallery, we're going to hit that wrench icon. And under actions, we're going to share. And under share, we're going to share as a PNG. And I am going to share it to my saved images, to my photos again. And then from there, I'll go ahead and go to gallery. And up at the top, to the left of the plus, I'll hit select. Actually, we're going to keep, I was going to delete it, but we're going to keep it there for a second. We're going to go ahead and pull up the TV in case we need to make any adjustments, in case it doesn't look good. So we're going to pull up the TV canvas again. I really like the tones on that. So, I mean, that looks pretty dope. And we're going to, up next to gallery, we're going to hit the wrench. And under actions, we're going to hit add. And under add, we're going to insert a photo. And there it is. That's the photo we just saved. And that's essentially what it looks like. So you can come up here and hit the brush icon to get rid of that little border thing. So, I mean, you know, it looks good. That's a banner for YouTube. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to send this to YouTube, what you would do is you'd go up next to gallery, hit the wrench. You'd, under actions, go over to share. And you would go ahead and share it as a PNG. And you guessed it, I'm going to save it to my image. Or you can, while you're under the wrench and you want to share it, you can share as a PNG. I run a MacBook Pro and iPad, so all my devices are Apple. So we'll go ahead and do that. And there it is on my MacBook Pro. And it's ready to upload to YouTube. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh yeah, by the way, like, comment, and subscribe. There's going to be more videos coming. This is just sort of my journey. I just created this banner and really got into using Procreate, and I've used Procreate in the past, and I'm an artist, so and I work in several different mediums, and it's just something I enjoy doing. So yeah, read the description on my channel. You'll kind of see what it's about and see what I'm getting ready to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.